And when I had our first child at the age of 27, I was diagnosed with MS. My first son was 2 weeks old. And I was told I'd be in a wheelchair by the time I was 40. And I was looking at this little baby and I thought, oh my gosh, in 15 years, he could be pushing me around. And I thought, no way, that's not going to be me. I'll find a cure or I'll die trying. And so that's when I really realized that I had the opportunity to master this really massive disaster, really. And I spent the next 10 years, the next decade, just looking for answers.
Right. So the disaster at that time was the health issue.
At that time, yeah. But I've had so many disasters throughout my life. From the age of 6, I had really terrible migraines. On my 12th birthday, my mother died, and I was the eldest of 5. So I really learned about the idea of impermanence really early. Like, no matter what you want in life, it can be taken in a moment, and everything is fleeting. At the age of 16, I was quite suicidal. I was really hit a low point in my life, and as I was about to jump off the bridge, literally, I thought, I'll end my pain, but who am I transferring my pain to? So I'll be transferring my pain onto the people I love the most. And I thought, and from all of these disasters, I learned some amazing life lessons that I just kept carrying through with me.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. That's an incredible journey, and it's really a testament to your strength. But there was more that happened to you. So you're dealing with MS and trying to find a solution to that, but something else happened. Can you tell us that?
Yeah. So the impetus for actually me writing the book was on my 40th birthday. I was part of a surgery to cure MS. And the night of my 40th birthday, I got home and my husband, I found out, was cheating on me. So after 15 years of marriage and 3 years, I was completely and utterly destroyed. And then over the night, I thought, I can choose to suffer for 12 hours, 12 days, 12 years, or a lifetime. But the length of time I suffer is up to me.
Right.
And by the time morning came, I transformed it, and I was happy. And I thought, I'm going to write a book. How to Get Over Betrayal in 12 Hours. And then that turned into Never Let a Good Disaster Go to Waste, in which I have my principles.
You have your principles, and we're going to talk about those, but something else happened. Do you want to talk about the being
marooned on an island?
Yes.
So interestingly enough, I spent 10 years talking about writing a book, 6 years talking about writing this book. I'm 51 now, so 11 years ago.
You look amazing, by the way. Doesn't she? All right.
Thank you. So yeah, I decided to write a book called Never Let a Good Disaster Go to Waste, and I went to an island called Vanuatu in 2019. I'd known a publisher there that was going to help me. And I met a man and I fell in love, and then the world shut down. COVID happened. So I was going there for basically 2 weeks, and I ended up getting stuck there for 2.5 years.
2.5 years. Can you imagine?
Marooned in paradise. And even though it's paradise, it does have a dark side.
Because it has disasters, natural disasters all the time.
So yeah, Vanuatu is actually known as the most disaster-prone country in the world for natural disasters. So we have earthquakes weekly, we have tsunamis, we have cyclones, literally exploding volcanoes that we can see from our doorstep. So it's great. It's action-packed.
It's action-packed. Yeah. Who needs TV? No. That's reality TV right there. But you said something about the people on that island. You learned so much from them. What were some of the values you learned?
It was really interesting because I'd gone to Vanuatu with a book called Never Let a Good Disaster Go to Waste. And I'd never heard of Vanuatu. And then I ended up in the most disaster-prone country in the world, in the middle of a disaster.
For 2.5 years.
And yeah, even though it's the most disaster-prone, the people there are the happiest in the world. And I really was astounded that these principles that I sort of came up with the night of my husband's betrayal, and I just realized there are lessons I'd learned throughout my life. The people there almost, they live them. They live in the now. They radically accept whatever's happening. They don't worry about the past and they don't worry about the future. They
Right.
just live in the present and they notice that everything is perfect in the here and now. It's like they figured out the meaning of life, and that is that they have everything they need just in the moment.
In the moment. And which leads me to this question, because I find a lot of people become stuck in a victim kind of mindset. So what have you learned to help people become unstuck and to move from victim to victor?
There's a quote that I love, and I say this mantra to myself all the time. My happiness is no one else's responsibility,
Right.
and my suffering is no one else's fault. And although we often get this, we constantly blame the traffic, other people, like this person made me so angry, and we think we
Right.
have no control over our thoughts. But one of my first principles in my book is like, we can control our thoughts. We are the ones talking in our heads. So we do have the power to allow our experiences to embitter us or to make us better.
Excellent. Can you give us 2 more principles from your book?
Yeah, so one of them is no one else needs to wear my pain. So I think this was really profound. The night of my husband leaving, I thought, if I don't get over this and transform this, who's going to suffer? My children. So I thought, if I don't let my pain go, I just transfer it onto the ones I love.
Right.
So my kids were the ones that would suffer. So I always say, don't wear your pain. Find a purpose in that pain. And that pain was to have empathy and compassion for others. How could I ever understand what anyone ever felt like going through a betrayal
Right.
if I'd never suffered it myself? So I'm like,
Right.
every time something bad happens, I'm like, oh, good. Now I know how everyone else feels when they go
Right.
through this. Because suffering is not unique. Our problems are not special. If you have a problem, congratulations, you've got a heartbeat, you're still alive.
Absolutely. So what you're saying is absolutely true. So it gives you a deeper insight and the empathy and a deep compassion for those going through their suffering. Or what you have taught me, opportunity, to take negative experiences or disasters and call them an opportunity, right?
Yeah, and problems don't have to be problems if you flip your perspective on it. So all of a sudden your problems allow you to become stronger.
Yes.
I've taught fitness my whole life, and when people are doing squats and they're in pain, I'm like, don't worry, this pain is going to make you stronger. And that's it. That's
No pain, no
what it is.
gain.
No pain, no gain. And when you go through your darkest times, that's when you look in the mirror and you go, toughen up, buttercup. You've got this.
You've got this.
You've got this.
All right. Give us one more principle, please.
So another principle that I really like is just radical acceptance. No matter what is happening, radically accept it and know that you are always in control of your response. You can't always control what happened to you, but you're in control of your response. And I always say to people, how long are you going to hang on to that pain for? When would now be a good time to let go of that suffering?
Right.
Just radically forgive and let go.
I love that. Radically let go. Amazing. So tell us, how can people get a copy of the book?
So my book is, you can go to my website at catfinnerty.com, and you can also go to Amazon and Barnes & Noble in America. So I've got Instagram, Facebook, Cat Finnerty, and I'd love for you to reach out and have a chat.
Thank you.
Let's become masters of disaster together.
Awesome. And this is my copy?
It is.
I hope?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. And you have to sign it for me, a special
will.
message in there. And before we close, I've learned so much from you in just a few minutes. Someone who's watching right now who needs encouragement, what would you tell them in the middle of their disaster?
Yeah. First of all, what did you think? That you would be the one person in this world not to experience disaster? We all go through disasters, and we all have a choice when we go through those disasters to allow them to empower us or to allow them to destroy us. Become the master of your disaster, not a victim of them.
I love it. Thank you so much. Kat Finnerty, everybody, please get a copy of her book, Never Let a Good Disaster Go to Waste. Follow her on social media. Get a copy of the book on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. We'll be right back. Thank you so much.